Hello. Today we're going to go over some warrior stuff. I think I'm comfortable enough to come out with a small PvP guide. Nothing too crazy. I'm just going to go over crystal builds, some add-ons, and then some combos to kind of get you guys started. A lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk about here is in the warrior Discord, so please by all means go check that out. If you need a link, I'll put them in the description and see if I can put a link together somewhere. If not, just search it up and you'll find it. It's really easy. So let's start with crystal builds. We'll start from the top and go down. I only use 3 builds specifically, with a 4th being a possibility, but I don't like it. So I'll talk about it, but I don't recommend it. So starting from the top here, our DPS tank build. This is what I usually run if I have shooters with me. And what I mean by that is when I'm with my guild and I have a lot of hitters that have a lot of AP and can kill, and classes that are meant to frag out, and they don't necessarily need a AP warrior running around doing damage, I will run this where I'm a lot more tankier and I have at least some semblance of AP to do damage and get some kills on squishy targets. This build is meant for targeting squishies and being able to kind of SA trade a bit more effectively and survive in a ball scenario. This is not meant for fragging out. This is not meant for bombing. Can you bomb with it? It depends on the scenario and how, whatever is going on. If people are on the floor and you have like a 50 slashing, for example, you could definitely bomb with this and get a couple kills, but ultimately it's honestly not really worth it because it's better to do it in a full AP build. But I digress. You could potentially make it work, but it's not really worth it. The one thing that I suggest you swap out is the Vipers. I do not think these are very good. I think that these are some of the worst crystals you can run at the moment because you need more AP to kill, more so than anything else. So what I would recommend doing is putting in anything that gives you AP or human damage. So my suggestion would be these Karmes, or not Karmes, I'm sorry, these powers. Put these bad boys in and you will be doing some pretty juice damage. And if you need accuracy, instead of swapping those out for Jin Vipers, you should swap 2 of these out for some of this, and then we can go ahead and pop this gun. And then we'll put this on and then I'll show you guys the accuracy. So we're at 981. If we pop a harmony and then we have the house buff maybe, and then we factor in our stone, we should be about like 1000 accuracy, give or take. But we still have more than enough adequate AP to kill people. And if you don't need this much accuracy, you just need a little bit, you could just take out only 1 crystal and then you could put back in another AP. So instead of it being this whole, huge accuracy situation, you can do something like this instead, where you're not going to have 1k accuracy, but you're going to have still more than enough, and you'll just need to use hilt strike or something else to give you that extra bit of accuracy to 1 combo, but you'll still have more than enough AP to kill people. But ultimately, I'm pretty much keeping in my AP crystals just so I can still do a lot of damage while being somewhat tanky. Now we go down here to the Giga DPS build. This is typically what I run 24/7. I don't really change off of this unless, like I said, I have people around me that have AP and that are playing a frag out class. So that's the only time I'm not running this. And this build specifically is just nuts. Like you will pretty much like just instantly kill people with this, especially if they're a squishy class like an archer or ranger. 1 slashing to the back or while they're on the floor, dude, you're chunking. Like you're taking half their HP bar in an instant, unless they're running like some freak DP stuff or whatever, because I have seen archers running some DP in recent times. So it is possible that you might need a bit more juice in that regard, but not really. One highlight that I do want to point out with this build is that you have a lot of ignore resist. So with the max, you're getting a certain percentage on the ignore resist as well, plus the bong wong. So if we take a look here, scroll down, we get a all resistance or ignore all resistance 2%. Then we go to the max, go down here, ignore all resistance 3%. And then I'm running the ignore knockdown resistance for the Lucas crystals, which is 7% per. So we got 2 of those bad boys, which equals 14. And then the Elcars are another 10 to 20% with both of them in. So it's a lot of ignore resist. So if anybody's resisting your KDs and other things, they're probably running out of Mantines. But yeah, that is this build. And then the variable build that you can run if you just want to have insane accuracy for whatever reason, you could run this one. And this includes Jin Vipers, Elcars with the Lucas crystals plus the Juan accuracies. And if you have the Jins, cool. If not, these are fine. And if we take a look at the stats here, I'll go ahead and actually put those on really quick so I can show you guys the accuracy. This will give you close to 1,000 accuracy. Especially, actually, it's over 1,000 accuracy. I didn't even realize that. But if you have a harmony popped and everything else, you'll be around 1036, 1030 accuracy, something like that, which is more than enough to kill people. And you'll still have reasonable AP too. You'll be roughly around 700, especially if you pop a Perfume of Courage. That'll put you around 705, 710 AP. And mind you, that's with my AP. You might have more gear than me or less than me, so just take that with a grain of salt. I don't really ever run this. The only time I might throw this on is if I'm in a 1v1 scenario and I'm fighting somebody that's full Eva memed out that I can't even scratch their HP bar, and the only way I'm going to do that is running something like this. But at that point, if I'm fighting somebody like that, I'm not even, I shouldn't even be fighting someone like that, because that's just a waste of time, because they're probably not going to be able to kill me, and me killing them is just not even worth it. And the only other crystal build I utilize is my war tank build. If I'm in this, I'm typically pretty much never going to kill anything, and I've accepted that. So in wars, I will run this, like if because I'm deflex or flex depending on like who's on the roster. So depending on that, if I need to kill cannons, or I need to be harassing something, or just being a general nuisance and using BSRs to knock people off of cannons, for example, I will run something like this, where I won't kill anybody, but I will be able to keep them off of cannons forever. This gives me a lot of HP, a lot of DR, and I'm pretty much able to still kill some targets. So if they're running some squishy shit or whatever, and I can, you know, just go up and be able to hit them. And if they're a squishy target, I'll still kill them with this build. It's not like I can't kill with it. However, if they're a tanky, like let's say Striker or an Eva class or something, I'm not scratching their HP with this build. It's just not possible. And if you need to be more tanky, you could plop in another DR crystal if you really want to. But at that point, you might as well just play a shy. This is already bordering the ridiculousness of tankiness. So I don't even like this build at all, because it's incredibly boring, but it is necessary for wars. If I have to harass a cannon, that I don't die. So that way I'm constantly harassing their cannon and making sure it dies. So typically this is what I will run for that scenario. And for open world, I'll run this if, once again, I'm surrounded by nothing but shooters and I don't have to worry about it, and I just need to be annoying, put people on the floor and just drop some damage and be able to just kind of make everybody uncomfortable. That's sort of what this build is for, not really anything else. If you want to kill shit, don't run this. This is the buzzing fly build pretty much. But yeah, those are the crystal builds. I'm always in the Giga DPS one, so just keep that in mind. This is my normal build that I'm running all the time. As for add-ons, I run a specific add-ons that's tailored to me, and that's Pulverize. These are the warrior add-ons, and if you're in the warrior Discord, you can go ahead and peep that and get these add-ons if you want to. But for the most part, the only thing I swapped around and changed up was the Pulverize. So the warrior Discord is a little partial to the ground smash add-on, which is all DP plus 20, and then all, I think, human damage minus 15. So it essentially just makes you tankier and then makes them less damagey. The only problem is I run a full RBF build 90% of the time, so that add-on serves me no purpose. I'm just going to die anyway. That 20 DP is not going to save me, and that minus 15 AP is not going to save me either. It's just not generally worth it, so I chose the utility purpose, where I gain movement speed at the end of my combo, as well as a possible chance for an extra down smash. Now, if you're not a fan of the Pulverize add-on that I'm currently running, which is my favorite, you can change this up for some possible, flex add-ons. So let's change Pulverize, and then we'll go to Overwhelm. If I needed, let's say, I don't know, more accuracy, if I don't have Solar Flare and Hilt Strike to potentially combo, this is kind of like a large scale thing. So you put all accuracy on and then all Eva rate down. And then what this does is it allows you to have some accuracy and Eva shred without the need of utilizing Solar Flare and Hilt Strike. So let's say I want to get this guy, right? And he's an Eva meme, or he's an Eva player that it's kind of hard to kill him. I could do something like this. You do something like that, and you just get in there and you open up with overwhelm and you get the lucky catch. So you get the accuracy to, you know, kind of make sure that you're going to be able to hit him, and then you get the Eva shred too, so that way it's even more likely for you to not miss. So that's the reason why I would swap to that. But when it comes to any other scenario, I'm pretty much partial to the down smash. I prefer to have the down smash chance for the reset potential, as well as just the utility of the movement speed. So that's my preference, but you could, you know, change it to whatever you feel like. This add-on is a heavy flex add-on, so you could change it to whatever you feel comfortable. You could put a spear add-on, you could put a ground smash, more pulverize, you can do whatever you want realistically. So if there's anything that you should swap around, it's this one. Everything else I would keep, especially the ankle break one, because once again, that's a down smash and resets are pretty common now for warrior, especially if, you know, you're fighting a tankier target, you're gonna need it. But yeah, that's the add-ons. I wouldn't change much, but that's up to you and what you want to do. That's just what I'm running. Okay, now let's go over combos. So we'll start with the basic bread and butter that I do. This is once again console for me specifically. If you are one of those warriors that watch Korean players, I don't know what's up with Korean warriors, but I watch a lot of their montages. Some of them very, very good. Like Yoonwoo, S tier warrior, insane warrior. But I've seen a couple clips of another Korean warrior and a couple others that do this weird reckless into overwhelm, and maybe you can get away with that on PC and Korean servers because of the ping and lack of desync and lack of frame drops, but on console it is not feasible. So what I've been seeing them do is something like this. They'll do something along those lines, and it's cool and it can work and it can kill people. But if you're fighting a DP target or a DR target and a Eva target, it's going to be very difficult for you to kill them off of that. So what usually happens is they'll do something like this. And my problem with this combo is that you're doing ankle break immediately, like after like the overwhelm, right? So you do overwhelm, slashing, and then they go ankle break, pulverize, tempest. This shit sucks. Ankle break comes out extremely slow, and I like, seriously, it's incredibly slow. So I do not like ankle break like that at all. It's super annoying. So what I like to do instead is I'll do reckless into ankle break because it comes out a little bit faster and it's a lot more safe in my personal opinion, because what happens here is the ankle break buff that we get, which is the 100% crit rate buff for 3 seconds, this lasts much longer than it used to. Originally this was like a 1 second buff, so we had to tailor our combo a bit differently, and we also had overwhelm block cancels back then to speed up the animations of a lot of our abilities. We do not have that anymore, so we don't have the luxury as being as fast as we used to be. So we need to be able to animation cancel ankle break, or at least speed up that animation a lot more. And the only way to physically do that is reckless blow, because pretty much any ability after reckless will come out a bit faster, and that's why I do ankle break immediately after reckless. And that's my method. You don't have to do it that way, but I've seen Korean warriors doing this freak reckless into overwhelm, and sometimes it works, but most of the time I feel like it's too much of a risk and not worth it. Especially if you just want the down attack buff, I'll show you guys a combo how you guys can get that without having to worry about it. But anyway, I just wanted to explain that so you guys understood why I'm doing a different combo. So I'll show you my bread and butter. Something like that. Ignore the reset. You don't have to do all that reset. That's just something that I go into if I get the down smash. If I see the down smash happen, I'm going for the reset. If I don't see it happen, then I'm just going to end with ground smash. So pretty much do the combo up to ground smash. And if you still feel the ground smash is pushing it a little bit, don't do the ground smash. Just do pulve tempest, disengage. Now let's go over the accuracy combo. So for this one, you're going to need to be able to C swap after the grab. And so how you do that is you / C swap. So I'll show you guys really quick. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. All right, so we grab / C swap. That's all you got to be able to do. And if you want to make sure that your forward slash comes out quickly, hold LB and then RB for like, actually you want to do RB then LB and it'll come out a little bit quicker. So boom, it'll come out a lot faster versus just forward RB and it comes out. You see how it comes out like a little bit slower? It's not as quickly. So if you do RB and then LB immediately afterwards, it comes out a lot faster, and then that leads into a much cleaner C swap. So boom, there you go. That's all you got to do. All right, I'll go ahead and do the combo now and show you guys what that looks like. And there you go. Mind you, the key part of this combo is not just the C swap, but you also have to time the stiff with their wake up. So put them on the ground. You see how he didn't get stiffed properly? I did it too quickly. It came out too fast. So you need to be able to time this correctly, or else what's going to happen is they're going to maybe grab you on wake up, or they're going to get out of it, whatever the case is. You need to be able to stiff them. So this requires you to use hilt strike, and this is what you want for the most part. You can lock Heaven's Cleave if you need to, but I prefer to play it with lock now. I didn't before, but this is kind of how I do it these days. So you need to make sure that you stiffen them the moment they're getting up, like that. And then you just go into the usual bread and butter, and then that's it. That's all you got to do. Even though most warriors are going to tell you we need to be fast as fuck, there are some combos that require patience and we need to time things precisely. So you want to delay the like kind of the armor break by like a second. So grab, boom, boom, 1 second, and then you go into it, and then you see we get the stiff every single time. It's not even like a full second. You want to do it for like a millisecond. You just want to delay it like for just a quick moment to make sure that you're timing it correctly. And just practice it on these dummies, because if you do it wrong, what'll happen is they'll just hit you out of it. So there, he didn't hit me out of it, but as you can see, if I like, let's say for example, I don't know, let's say if I mess it, I want to wait for my grab real quick. I'm trying to see if I can do it quick enough to where it doesn't work. So you see right there, I did it too quickly, and then he stunned me. You don't want that. You want to make sure you hit the stiff. So that's why you have to delay your armor break by just like a smidge. But yeah, that is the accuracy Eva shred combo. You want to make sure you're doing that on Eva targets specifically. If you're fighting a DR target, you don't necessarily need this combo. If you're fighting a target that's Eva and DR and you need to shred that shit, this combo is going to be what you're going to need. And I will warn you, this combo is RNG as hell because we're on console. We do not have the frames. We do not have the, like the consistency that PC does. So this combo is very difficult to land, and it can be just totally RNG based, where if your frame drops, you're probably not going to land this. But if your frames don't drop and you have enough attack speed, you could potentially pull this off. So I'll show you guys what this looks like. There you go. The problem with this combo is you got to do / into ground roar, which is the issue, because the ground roar animation sometimes lags and it just, like I said, it's inconsistent. And then sometimes your / too, it'll kind of stick on your opponent where it won't it won't cancel correctly, and your C swap will be a little messy. And even without the C swap, just going into this comes out so slow to where you don't have enough time to do the rest of the abilities fast enough. So you kind of have to just, it's a gamble. If you're going to do this combo, it's kind of a gamble on console. On PC, you can hit this any day of the week and it's super easy and super simple. But unfortunately for console, it is incredibly inconsistent. All right, now for the actual combo, okay? This is the Franklin Leonardo and Sword King special. This is a combo that me and Franco came up with a long time ago, and it still works to this day. This is sort of a full damage, like heavy DR kind of combo where you incorporate Merciless and Overwhelm together, so that way you gain the down attack and you gain the crit attack buff, and it's pretty much maximizing your percent damage, and it's really good for just shredding or not shredding, but just for deleting anybody, because you have so much percent damage and it's really solid. So how this combo works is you're gonna have to get comfortable with block canceling Merciless into Overwhelm, and then block canceling Overwhelm into Armor Break. So I'll show you guys what that looks like over here. As you can see, we did the little animation cancel there, and it gave us our crit and down attack, and you have to do it to where your Merciless nor Overwhelm lands. And that's the problem that most warriors will struggle with, is being able to cancel properly, because if you land the Merciless or Overwhelm, what's going to happen is it fucks the combo. So let's say, for example, like you hit the grab, right? If you accidentally fuck it up, you'll see he gets floated, and then they'll get up quicker because it's not a KD. So you got to be careful with this. That's what I mean by you have to cancel this with absolute precision. So if you guys will watch here, I'm going to do the skills, and I'm not going to float the sky at all. You see how I canceled both my Merciless and Overwhelm quick enough to where it didn't float them? That's what you have to do. And if you can't do that, this combo is not going to work. So how this is going to function is you're going to go ahead and do something like this. And there you go. It's a solid combo, and it's a little swaggy, and it's sort of specific, but I mean, I don't really do this combo a whole lot outside of just 1v1s. That's kind of the only real use it has, but it maximizes your percent damage, and it's pretty solid. It's just very difficult to do. And I believe that is sort of everything. I don't think there's much else to add to this. That's kind of just kind of where we're at. If you guys have any questions, just put them in the comments, and I'll go ahead and answer them to the best of my knowledge. If you guys want my Garmoth link, I will put it in the description if I remember. If I don't remember, please remind me in the comment section. I will go ahead and put it in there, and you guys can see all my crystal presets. You guys can see my gear progression if I get anything new, but this is what I'm wearing at the moment. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, questions, comments, concerns, let me know, and I'll try and answer them to the best of my knowledge. But I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Cause of forever, me run the block. By champion, gallus, me never flop.